I wish I had better
Handwriting?
handwriting.
We're not joking here. Seriously, look at this. Best handwriting ever.
I don't know what I wrote there. Today we mourn the loss of a video game. With me I have Vegetas. Hey man.
Hey Glock, how are you doing?
I'm doing terrible.
Seriously?
Yeah man, I mean games get cancelled all the time, but I was really looking forward to Scalebound.
Looked like a promising game, yeah.
It did. I saw it for the first time at, well, like everyone at E3 when they did that cinematic reveal. Wasn't that hype back then. Was like, hey, show me some gameplay and then we can talk. And the first time they showed some gameplay was at Gamescom 2015. And I actually went to Gamescom, saw the game behind closed doors. When I came back, I bought an Xbox One. Not just because of that game, because that's stupid. If you did that, you're a stupid person. But also because Scalebound just looked
It looked
amazing.
really, really cool.
Yeah.
For sure. And being developed by Platinum Games, you know, you're supposed to have some great content there. But I don't know what happened, man.
So, because I saw the game behind closed doors twice on Gamescom 2015 and 2016, I thought I had this responsibility to just bring you guys what this game was going to be. I'm sure a lot of people were looking forward to it, but maybe they didn't have all the info, and it was one of my favorite things to do was just ask questions to Hideki Kamiya and
Sure.
you know, just have him explain this game, which he was so passionate about. So I've got here with me my notebook from 2015, where I wrote down my notes
That's a relic.
from Scalebound. So Gamescom 2015, you remember the gameplay demo, first time they showed gameplay. That was that gameplay demo at the Xbox briefing. And then behind closed doors, it was pretty much the same demo, but they were playing it in real time. They were able to stop it, show us the menus, the customization, and all that stuff. And also there was an extended scene that they later released, so I think everyone saw it. It's an action RPG in a large world, not really an open world, more of a Monster Hunter kind of thing.
Yeah, that's the feeling they was letting that through. So yeah.
Great sentence.
Yeah.
You play as Drew, the human, and you actually start as a human living in the human world, but you're transported into this fantasy land, and you make a bond with this dragon. You get a dragon arm, and all of a sudden, hey, you and your dragon can communicate, and that's kind of the setting. And the main character wasn't Drew, the main character wasn't the dragon, the main character was the relationship between
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this fantasy land has something called the Pulse. And the Pulse is a force that, okay, I'm just reading notes here.
I guess they had the pulse.
Yeah,
Not anymore.
I don't remember this at all, so I'm just reading notes. The world has the Pulse, which is a force that keeps the land alive and also floating. This was my notes.
Okay, so
yeah, because you can
a little
see
bit
it's
of Terry Pratchett
yeah,
there,
it's a
but-
floating island. So
Okay.
that's the Pulse. I guess they have a version of the Force, maybe.
Sure.
Also, the Pulse turns defeated enemies into gems. So that's what we see the crab monster doing.
That explains a lot of actually, but okay.
What I remember from the first presentation in 2015 was really them going into the menus and showing how much you could customize both the Drew and the dragon. So you were expecting different weapon types, I assume?
Yeah, totally. I mean, you see in the gameplay trailers when they have the co-op mission.
Yeah, later. That
Later.
was the next year.
Next
so
year,
for a
yeah,
full
they showed
year,
the
we just
co-op
had
mission.
the sword. And then you can see, oh wait, these dragons look different. These players look different. These players have different weapon types with different movesets.
Yeah, and that's what actually gave the Monster Hunter vibe for the game, for me.
Yeah, there's a lot of Monster Hunter there. Even in the first trailer, when Drew mounts the boss, the crab boss guy, and you've got like these button prompts that are like attack or hold, which is totally a Monster Hunter thing. Because when it starts shaking, you gotta hold, then you got a grip meter. Yeah, there's a lot of Monster Hunter in there for sure. The dragon customization, there's more to it than meets the eye. So first of all, you can manipulate the dragon DNA.
Okay.
Yeah, and with the dragon DNA, you could change the color, even the shape of the dragon itself. You could change his elements. So we saw the dragon in the trailers do a lot of fire breath stuff. It could have been an ice breath. It could have been poison breath. So that they had that kind of stuff, and they called it DNA manipulation.
I mean, what else would it be?
Because then you gotta separate that from the other type of customization, which is the armor. You can bring armor to your dragon and equip
Sure,
them in
but
different
it's not
types
like
of
you live in a world full of magic, right? I mean, Force turns.
No,
turns
it's
anime
a
into
world full of
gems.
pulse. Okay.
Sure.
You can customize the tail, the horns, the wings. You can level up the dragon with you can spend the gems on the dragon.
You could go full My Little Pony on that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
My Little Dragon. I also wrote inventory slots Diablo 3 style.
You mean you
Like
could just the chest plates?
and yeah, I
You had
think
different
so.
item slots for different body parts.
Yeah,
And, okay.
and that was for both Drew and the dragon, I believe.
Okay, that makes sense. That's quite common actually.
Yeah, and that trailer ends by them getting into a dungeon. They called it a dungeon. Like that's not a part of the living world. That's sort of an optional thing.
Okay.
And they weren't talking much about it that year, but later I got some info the next year. So those dungeons, they have 4-player co-op. The co-op was non-mandatory, but they would encourage you to play cooperatively because those were tougher challenges and they would give you better rewards if you played it on co-op. And also you had scores, like every platinum game, if you do the dungeon
Sure, I
perfectly,
mean-
S rank, yeah.
The arcade style, of course.
I think that's all I have for 2015. Let's jump into 2016.
Okay, and that's Gamescom 2016, right?
I think it was actually, the demo was during E3. I don't think they showcased it at Gamescom. But anyway, I thought that was a terrible demo. I don't want to say, oh, Kamiya was playing the game wrong, but it was playing the game that in a way that didn't put it in a very good light. It was like shooting the bow all the time, and like every time he pulls out the bow, I'm like, man, fucking drop the bow. It's not effective. You're like doing 70 damage, and there's your buddy there with a dragon doing thousands. You're not doing anything.
Sure,
It was infuriating.
He wanted to showcase the game, probably.
He did a poor job of doing that.
Sure, but he probably wanted to showcase the non-effectiveness of the bow, like close range and different.
Right. Definitely with that boss, the bow didn't feel
No.
super effective.
No, it didn't.
I'm trying to find my notes.
Also, I remember the 2015 actually yet.
Going back.
Gameplay demo was not very good. Frame rates were just fucking all over the
So
place.
yeah, that's in general one of my
But,
fears.
yeah.
One of my fears with this game was always like performance, because they were aware of it naturally, but it definitely, I never saw that game run well. Never.
Yeah.
Even behind closed doors, not.
Okay.
Not a single time. I never saw that game. Run
I can like comprehend for 2015. What was Alpha State, the game there?
yeah, pre-alpha,
Was it
whatever. they wanna
pre-alpha,
call it.
whatever. And it obviously will not run perfectly.
Optimization is one of the last steps, so you like to give them the benefit of the doubt. But
Sure, of course.
I never saw that game.
But for first impression, that was really hard on the
yeah,
eyes.
it was rough, definitely. The next year, it was the year that Xbox Play Anywhere was blowing up. 2016 it was recently, relatively recently.
Yeah.
So Xbox Play Anywhere was just announced. They were like giving you, hey, this game's gonna be Xbox Play Anywhere. This game's gonna be Xbox Play Anywhere. Scalebound was one of those games. And one of the questions I asked them is, hey, how tough is this transition? They were like, whatever. This is really easy, actually. Like, they, in a way, it felt like they were underestimating the task. In another way, it felt like they were very confident that the PC version would run spectacularly.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the translations on the software for each machine. If you have like kind of a super translator that translates all of the game codes into another platform, it kind of makes the job easier. It's not 100% fully effective. Most of the time, you just have to like clear a few lines on the end, but usually it just works like that.
Wow. I didn't know you knew programming.
Sorry, man.
It's fine. No, I'm thank you. I had no idea.
You have now those. Back in the days, they were a lot harder to do.
Okay. I didn't buy a notebook for 2016, so this is still my 2015 book. I took the same book to Gamescom 2016. 2016 was Dragon Talk, like was all about dragons. Their presentation was all about dragons. They didn't play the game live. They just showed us videos and sort of behind the scenes development stuff of what the systems they were doing for the dragons were. So a big part of this was dragon classes. We saw during that demo different players with different dragon types.
Yeah.
And those dragon types actually work sort of like classes. And the one you're using all the time, the one in the main trailers, is a Rex. It's just sort of an all-around type of guy.
Okay.
You saw a bigger guy, sort of fatter. That's a tank. You saw a dude just flying right out of the gate. That's a wyvern. A wyvern is really good in the air, not so good on the ground.
I know what wyverns are, but yeah. Dungeons and Dragons, man.
Right, but from a gameplay perspective, they could have changed that.
Yeah, no. Wyverns are very specific.
Yeah, so what I wrote down here was dragon types. Stats are attack, defense, speed. They're still tweaking. Changes significantly. They were still tweaking. And you evolve between these different stats. They call them morphs. So let's say you have a Rex and you want to build him as a tank. You can stop anywhere between those two. And the shape of the dragon changes as well. So like, let's say the Rex has his wings spread open like this, and the tank has them like sort of closer to the body to protect the body. You can stop anywhere in between, and
okay.
the shape of the dragon will be where you stop it as well. So you wouldn't have like, oh, I have a tank dragon, I have a Rex dragon. No, you can have
a mix of several classes.
Hybrids, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, they showcased something called Dragon Link, which is something where you control the dragon directly. So Drew kind of enters this meditation or trance state, and Drew is vulnerable while using this thing. But you control the dragon directly. So you can just go to town.
What?
Yeah, I mean, you become the dragon, basically.
Yeah, sure.
A good time to use this, for instance, is when you've been fighting a boss, and now there's a period of time where he's vulnerable. Like, you flip the turtle on his back, and now the turtle is wailing for like 10 seconds.
Okay.
Good. Dragon Link, burst out all the damage. I wish I had better
handwriting. Yeah, I'm not even going to look there because I saw that from afar and that would look like a mess.
Up here it says different types of dragons.
Jesus.
Theme, I don't know, and size.
Fire. Size?
Size, but what's the middle?
We're not joking here. Let's seriously look at this. Best handwriting ever.
I don't know what I wrote there. Also, I have crossplay underlined twice, so you could play this on Xbox
and PC. Sure.
Yeah. Again, co-op not mandatory, but they definitely encourage it.
Yeah, I mean, and then with all the crossplay on not crossplay, the thing where you can play Xbox style.
Yeah, Xbox Play Anywhere was going to be big on this one, I think.
So, game got cancelled.
Yeah,
right?
Game got cancelled. I think Microsoft owed us a bit more of an explanation, or Platinum Games for that matter, instead of just
from what I saw from today.
We've got some other games for Xbox.
This morning I was just browsing through the articles on several gaming websites, and from what I could understand was like the game was way behind schedule on the
fucking delay it.
Yeah, they were already late, and several crew members that worked on the project had to take like 1 month off because of the hard demanding project that it was. And when they came back, the game was already even more behind schedule. And Microsoft just said, okay, we can't handle the funds to have this.
It's getting too expensive. Let's shut it
down. Yeah, basically it was that's what the general consensus seems to be. It's not official, but
yeah, I think that was probably the game I was looking forward to this year.
On Xbox, totally.
Yeah.
I mean,
number one.
I still am expecting Cuphead, of course, but it's not on the same scale. I don't know. Xbox just seems to just shot themselves in the foot again.
I have an Xbox. If anyone wants to buy
it, nah. There's nothing on that platform that works for me.
Yeah.
Especially not now.
Well, thank you for watching. Hopefully this gave you a bit more insight into the game that Scalebound was going to be, could be, maybe.
I think maybe they will probably like pick up these pieces and make.
They've done some work. They will probably.
There was a lot of work already done.
Some of those elements and put them into a new game. Right?
But obviously it's not going to be as big as Scalebound.
Yeah, leave us a like if you're sad like us. If you're new to the channel, subscribe button's right there, and leave us a comment saying, hey, how hyped were you for Scalebound? How did you take these news? What do you think this game was going to be a hit or not? Thanks for watching. Thank you, Vegetus.
Thank you, Globka.
Thanks, guys.